Hey, what's up guys? So yesterday I posted a video for an all 3 affliction type build. So I do poison, bleed, and daze. And I meant to include something in the video that I was just rewatching it and I realized that I completely spaced out and I forgot to include it in the showcase. But so this is just going to be a short video, more of a follow-up to that video because I failed to show something that I thought it was really interesting. It's this interaction that happens with the Tanto. And if you watch the video, I do briefly go over the fact that getting this Tanto was how I came up with the idea for a build that combines all types of afflictions. And so if you can see here, the Tanto comes with bleed buildup, and it also comes with an engraving that gives me 50% damage from poison on afflicted enemies. And I didn't even realize how lucky I got with this because it has also the highest DPS out of all the Tantos that I have. It's the highest that I've seen in the game, 2400. And so what happens here is if you are able to proc poison with a different weapon, right? So we got this Kusarigama with poison buildup. You proc poison and then you switch back to your Tanto. Not only do you get the 50% damage from poison on afflicted enemies, but you're also going to get bleed buildup. And I'm sure this is unintended, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets patched. But if you also have this engraving for the plus 20% poison affliction duration, sometimes depending on the enemy, you can get bleed to proc twice. So not only do you get damage over time from poison, but you also get burst damage from bleed, which is actually kind of broken. It's pretty insane. And I did switch from the Kusarigama that I was using because I had the Kain engraving, the Kain Kusarigama engraving on, and it's just a little too strong. You know, it's 135% damage when you're surrounded by 2 or more enemies. And I'm trying to keep enemies alive long enough so I can see the damage that the poison does, and so that I can get the daze affliction duration, and so that they're, you know, disabled. I'm trying to see all those afflictions work at once. And with that, it's just I found that it's a little too strong. So I switched to this Kusarigama that comes with poison and 5% critical chance on hitting afflicted enemies. And then I put on the Stone Hearts engraving to spread the affliction with a combo ender. And everything else is pretty much unchanged. I have the same helmet that gives me plus 14% damage on hitting afflicted enemies and plus 20% damage with afflictions. And I did, like I said, I did put the 25% damage from bleed on afflicted enemies, which is a change from the Yukimitsu's Revenge engraving, which makes afflicted enemies vulnerable. And this is the armor that I'm going with for the daze buildup from tools. And it's a better fit because this gives me plus 1% affliction buildup on consecutive hits, which comes in handy. And if you've seen my previous videos, the last few that I've made, I've been moving away from affliction buildup type engravings so that I can get more damage because I usually, you know, don't really need the buildup. But this one, since we're working with 3 different afflictions, it actually comes in handy, and it does count for tool hits as well. So with this, I put on the 40% daze affliction duration. And one thing that I actually wanted to mention before I forget is these engravings are bugged currently. Where is it? Because I did try them for this build and they were not working at all. So I don't know if you guys have had this. So these type of engravings, right? So when you get an armor that doesn't come with the specific affliction type buildup, but it'll come with an engraving that says all tool affliction buildup is poison, and this currently does not work. I've tried testing it for all different types of affliction, for bleed, poison, and daze, and it does not work currently. So maybe it'll get patched. But yeah, if you have that engraving and you're thinking that it's working, you know, might as well just ditch that gear item because it's not working. And so one more thing that I wanted to mention is this one was an extremely lucky drop from, I think it was a chest somewhere. I don't even remember. But you don't have to grind, you know, for this. As long as you have a Tanto that has bleed and you have the engraving that gives you the poison damage, you can just make your own, right? So I made a couple actually from stuff that I had. So this one comes with 25% damage from bleed. It's basically the reverse, and I just put on the poison damage, 50% on afflicted enemies. So that's one. Pretty sure I had another one. There we go. It was one of the first ones. So this one comes with 20% damage with afflictions, and I just put on the 50% damage from poison, and it works just as well. So you can make your own, and based on this, you could theoretically do the same with all afflictions, right? So if you have any one gear type, katana, kusarigama, or whatever it is, that comes with one type of affliction, as long as you have another weapon that you can proc poison or daze or whatever it is with, and then switch back to your primary weapon, you're going to get that buildup, right? Because that just seems to be how the game is coded. And unless they patch it, you have access to that as an option. So that's really what this follow-up video is about. I just wanted to go over those things, and I'll just show the interaction in a quick showcase, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
しばらく痛みそうじゃ。